Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannon's Insurance, National Parts Depot and Penrite Oil.
Hello and welcome to another incredible episode of Classic Restos. Thanks to Shannon's Insurance, National Parts Depot and Penrite Oil. It doesn't matter what classic vehicle you have, you need Shannon's Insurance. In fact, if you add your house contents insurance to your current bike or car insurance, you will receive a 10% multi-policy discount. Shannon's Insurance offer us as the enthusiasts just so much. Pick up the phone and give Shannon's a call on 134646. You can also visit Shannon's online at shannons.com.au, where you can also sign up and become a member of the Shannon's Club. If you need parts for your American classic car such as this, you need National Parts Depot. They have a 3 million part inventory and they ship to Australia and New Zealand every day. Contact them for a catalogue at npdlink.com. It's fantastic to have a major sponsor on board such as Penrite Oil, and no matter what the engine, Penrite has a product to suit you. They've even got a tech line. If you're not too sure, you can contact Penrite and find out the best application of oil to suit your particular engine. They're a family-owned company. They've been around since 1926 and they are Australian-owned. Find out more about Penrite Oil at penriteoil.com.au. Penrite, simply a better class of oil. And on today's show, this is it, my friends, the granddaddy of cruising in classic cars. Welcome to the 19th annual Woodward Dream Cruise. Detroit, need we say more? The home of the automobile. Whether it's an Australian car or a European car that you like, every vehicle manufacturer over time received inspiration and potential designs from Detroit. Woodward Avenue has history. It's where engineers of the Big Three road-tested vehicles late at night a long time ago. Woodward Avenue is an 11-mile stretch of road, and it lends itself to over 50,000 classic vehicles, along with over 1.5 million spectators. Woodward Cruise is about lifestyle, a celebration of evolving time, progress of the automobile, and classic vehicle fraternities catching up for one huge cubic acre horsepower party. If it has wheels and it was built in Detroit, you'll see it here at the Woodward Dream Cruise, an event that's growing bigger and bigger every year. Roger, would you believe your first cab off the rank here at the Woodward Dream Cruise? What an awesome event this is. Saw you pull in here. What a gorgeous Fairlane.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The 1964 Fairlane, I tried to clone it up like a Thunderbolt, which they only made 106 of, but I'm not as true to all the colors, but I like my Fairlane.
It sounds as fat as anything. Is it a 302 really?
No, it's not really a 302. It's a little stroker motor.
Okay, so it's out to 347?
That's what it is, 347. It's got all the bells, whistles, and buzzers, the aluminum heads, the big 830 Pro Systems carburetor, and she runs quite well.
That's good. What sort of diff gears? What's the ratio going on the back?
430s.
430s, yeah.
430s with a 9-inch converter.
Got an ET time down the quarter?
Run low 11s.
Low 11s, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's a nice
all
time.
Motor, no bottle.
Yeah.
Bottles are for babies.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just the there's a lot to be said for just natural aspiration.
That's exactly what it is. Breathe deep.
Yeah. You've been a car guy all your life, no doubt.
I've been out on this avenue since probably 1960.
Wow.
I've been out here for a long. I graduated from a local high school here, and worked at Ford Motor Company all my life, and then I'm still doing the same thing I did 50 years ago.
Isn't it amazing, Roger, to think that Woodward Avenue was used by the engineers to come out late at night and test drive the cars? How awesome.
We did that many years ago. The gentlemen from Chrysler's, they were out here for a long time. They were testing tuning out here from Chrysler's, and there'll be a car up here this afternoon, maybe, I think. It'll be a double plug Hemi motor that one of the guys probably put together years ago. It's a great time for everybody up here.
Roger, I could just spend all day talking to you because you're the salt. This is the backbone of Woodward. Is guys like this. everyone is in terms of turning up. But when you talk to a guy that used to work for Ford, wow, yeah, that's something special. The first interview on today's show as well, which is extra cool as well.
Thank you very much. Have a good day while you're here.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. You take care of yourself, eh?
You betcha, Snatch. Fletch.
Snatch. Thanks, buddy.
Have a good one. Take care.
With me now, I'm lucky enough to have Greg, who is the president of the Woodward Dream Cruise, the 19th annual Dream Cruise for 2013. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing good, Fletch. How you doing today?
Good, mate, good. How's things looking for this year?
It's looking great. We got great weather, and we're expecting near-record crowds. Probably throughout the day, we'll get 1.3 million people out here watching the classic cars and participating in all the events. One of the events you see going on behind us right now is our kickoff run race. That's one of the fundraisers we use to help raise funds to support this event, because we build this as the world's largest free car show, and it takes a lot of money and support to pull off this event, because it's over 9 communities, 16 miles, everybody pulling together to celebrate the automobile.
This is the big daddy of them all. This is like the grand final of car shows. I mean, this is Detroit. This is the heart of the nerve center, where all of our classic cars, as we know them, were, well, first created and in other countries inspired by designs from Detroit. It must make you feel very special to be a part of this.
It does. You know, like I said, being in the home of the automobile, you know, and everybody takes this as such a personal thing, because everybody's got roots and involvement and a connection to the automobile in this area. And what's amazing is that people come together as a sense of community here. It's amazing, 19 years, people bring their classic cars back to the same location every year, and it's like a family reunion for a lot of people, finding out what they've done with their classic car, what upgrades they've done on it, what changes they've made for it, adding more power, reducing the power, and that kind of stuff. So it's all sort of cool in that regard.
Greg, thank you so much, mate. It's a real privilege to catch up with you.
Thank you, Fletch. Good luck. Welcome to the United States.
That's okay. And on behalf of everybody, we appreciate your efforts and what it takes to pull this together. It's just so mammoth, and yourself and your team should be really credited for that. Congratulations.
Thank you, Fletch.
With me now we have Julie. Now, Julie, you were one of the runners here. What was it like to actually run Woodward?
Oh, it was fantastic. There's so much energy out here really early in the morning. They just paved it. They've been spending weeks on it, getting it ready for the Dream Cruise this week. So it was a really nice run to start on here. It was great.
Are you into classic cars yourself?
Well, I don't have any cars myself. I am particularly love the 68, 69 Mustang, so I do love coming out here and seeing all the vintage cars out on Woodward.
I think what's so nice is to incorporate the run to kick off the cruise officially. I think that's a nice touch.
I agree. This is their second annual Cruise and Shoes 5K, and we started off at the Shrine High School, which I think is fantastic, and I was happy to be a part of it this year.
All right, well, you've worked hard. You deserve those beverages. I'll let you go do that, and thanks for catching up for a chat.
Absolutely, Fletch. It was so great to meet you. Have a wonderful day here in Royal Oak, Michigan.
This is the Woodward Dream Cruise for 2013, and you're seeing it first on Classic Restos, thanks to Shannon's Insurance, National Parts Depot, and Penrite Oil. Stay right where you are. Back with more classics after this. Moving through Woodward as we do. We've got Mike now. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing fine. Hello, Fletch. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Beautiful day. You've turned up here in your 1970 Chev Monte Carlo. What a gorgeous car.
Yeah, it is a nice car.
How long have you had it for, Mike?
11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it a bit of a basket case when you got it? Like, did you do much to it?
There's been a lot done to it, yeah, over the years. And, you know, the latest thing was a carburetor. Just put that on.
Yeah.
So that's a big 4-barrel Holly.
Yeah.
People will know the cars, know the Holly.
Absolutely. Like, these guys just go along with these beautiful cars. They take it in their stride. You know, when you're in college, you know, you'd remember these cars brand new.
Oh, yeah. This was after college. I'm a lot older than that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to give you a compliment. Unless you want to share with us how old you are. Or how young.
75's not a sin.
75.
That's right.
Isn't this amazing? I can't get enough of this. These guys are at the time of their lives. 75, it ain't old anymore.
No, it isn't. I still date.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You know, these cars keep you young, and I love saying that. I don't care if I say that in every episode, because I believe that that's what keeps the fraternity alive. Gorgeous engine now, Chevrolet along the rocker covers there, beautiful aesthetically to look at. What size engine are we looking at?
That is a 350 cubic inch engine that has been bored out and has 350 horsepower in it.
Yep.
It's a big, strong engine.
Yep.
And I don't lose any races.
That's right, well, at 75 you don't want to.
Well,
Yeah, you've had plenty of practice, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, that's good. Love talking to you, Mike, and it's guys like you that keep the Woodward Dream Cruise tradition alive, and it's a pleasure talking to you.
Nice talking with you, very much.
Fletch, great to see you back at Woodward. Canada loves classic Restos.
Okay, time for Larry now. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing real good. How are you, Fletch?
I'm good. 1966 Coronet. Nice car, nice car. Love the red.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. How long have you had it, Larry?
I've only had it less than a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You done much to it in that time?
Did some paint work and a little bit of exhaust work and stuff. The engine was already pretty much squared away. Car was pretty straight when I got it.
Yeah. Aren't these a cool full-size car? I mean, they've got the lines. They just look tough, don't they?
Oh yeah.
What are you running under the hood?
Oh, this has got a 440 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These were option 426 Hemi was available too.
They had the 426 Hemi back then. Yeah, that's a monster.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but there's something to be said about the 440s. They used to run very smooth as well. Better in traffic. I mean, the Hemi just full-blown power option.
Right.
The 440 was no slouch.
No, not at all. It's quite powerful.
Yeah. And you're pretty cool too, Larry, having a convertible.
Yeah, it's nice. Thanks.
There's nothing better than the top down, huh?
Oh, perfect day for it too.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Dream Cruise here for 2013?
Oh, I love it. It's awesome. It's awesome every year.
Yeah.
Gets better and better.
Yeah. Well, I remember 1 million people, 40,000 cars. Now we're tipping the scales at 50,000 cars, 1.5 million people. That's positive growth in anyone's language.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Larry, an absolute pleasure to catch up with you. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Good to meet you, Fletch.
Okay, time for Joe. How you doing, Joe?
Good, Fletch. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Bit of low riding going on. What's the story?
Just always had a passion for it. Always liked it. Never had an opportunity to build one. Got the car. Figured why not?
I love these early 60 Chevs. Here we've got a 64 Impala. Just love that straight line. They're just beautiful, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I've always loved them.
Yeah, that's really cool. Means a lot to you to drive around in a car like this?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always been a dream to have a lowrider, and now I got one, and it's a beautiful day for it. I just absolutely love cruising up and down Woodward in it.
Yeah. Have you always been a Chevy guy?
No, I'm not a brand loyal type of guy. I like any type of car, whether it's an import to American made. If it looks good, I like it.
I think that's the way it's going now. I think, some people, we can be a bit one-eyed in one respect, but we have a general appreciation for all cars. I mean, you've got a Ford guy driving along, a Chevy guy comes towards him, they wave to each other, and I think that's nice. I think it happens more now than what it did 20 years ago, for sure.
Yes, it does. I believe it does. In fact, in my household, we have a Ford, a Chevy, and a Dodge. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm out in my Dodge and a guy comes towards me in an old Beetle, you just give him a wave. I mean, any classic car we just have a respect for.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, what's running under the hood? What sort of engine you got going on there?
Just small block 327. It's all stock. Haven't really had a chance to do much to it. I've only had the car for about 3 years, so had to have it looking good first.
Nothing wrong with a Chevy V8. They run as smooth as silk. Yes, they do a good job, don't they?
Yes, they do. It just purrs like a kid, and I can drive up and down in traffic all day long.
Yeah. Good on you, Joe. Nice talking to you. Love the Chev. It's as straight as a die. You know, you run your eye across the top of the guard, door, rear quarter. She's just it's like an arrow.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
With me now, we've got Mark Beer from Shannon's Insurance, major sponsor of Classic Restos. Mark, great to see you here in the D for 2013.
Thanks, Fletch. It's great to be here.
Mate, in terms of last year, I think there's definitely some significant growth.
Yeah, I think there's something like 1.5 million people attending the event this year. Yep. And I thought 40,000 cars, but I believe 50,000 cars this year. Yeah. So in my mind, I'd have to say the greatest car show on earth, which is a big statement, but I reckon it holds up to that.
Certainly when the event comprises cruising being the mainstay of the event. I mean, let's face it, this is Detroit. It doesn't get much better than this. Detroit, United States of America, this is the platform of where the automobile came from. So I guess all these years down the track, it's only obvious that we're going to have some mighty event happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the beauty of it is that you are watching the cars cruising past, moving rather than just static displays. But having said that, there is a wealth of static displays here as well. Yep. Lots of vendors, lots of attractions. There's just plenty to see. I mean, it's really the biggest challenge is trying to fit it all in, and the reality is you can't fit it all in one day.
Through the eyes of Shannon's, Mark, over the years, I mean, no one like you guys would see advancement. We can go to car shows and see numbers increase, but you guys would really have a good idea of that.
Yeah, well, I guess Shannon is now sponsoring or is involved with over 900 events around Australia every year, so that's really grown. I've seen that grow in the last few years from probably around the 600 mark. So I guess when you think about it, the old car scene's, it's very healthy.
It's good too from a car club perspective as well, because I mean, a lot of car clubs have these car shows. They raise money for charities. You guys get behind them and sponsor the car clubs. I mean, it's such a close-knit thing, and it's not just in Australia, it's in other countries around the world as well. We see the same thing here in Detroit. Big companies getting behind events, helping to make it happen. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, and my advice would be, if you're a motoring enthusiast, get on a plane and get yourself to Detroit.
Yeah. The thing is this, you don't appreciate Detroit until you get here. It's not just about Woodward, it's all the other stuff around in the area. The countless car collections, the countless museums. It's an incredible place.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge you're going to have, is trying to fit it all in, and the reality is you're going to have to do multiple trips to fit it in because there's so much to see.
And that's a bit of a bugger, isn't it, having to do multiple trips.
It's a good problem to have, Fletch.
It is. Good on you, Mark. Great catching up with you again. Good to see you here in Detroit again. I hope you enjoy the rest of the time here.
Thanks, Fletch.
And of course, for more information on my major sponsor, all details can be found at classicrestos.com.au. If you enjoy the TV show Classic Restos as much as I do, well, the DVD boxed sets, along with other Classic Restos merchandise, is available at classicrestos.com.au. And while you're there, don't forget to check out the major sponsors and as to how they can help you. They are wonderful people to deal with, and they'd love to hear from you. See more at classicrestos.com.au. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. 2013 Woodward Dream Cruise. You're seeing it first on Classic Restos, of course, thanks to my major sponsors. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing fine, Fletch.
That's good. Gee, I tell you what, this yellow car, boy, it pops.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's what really attracted to me when I purchased the car. Yeah. This color, it's called Lemon Twist.
Yep. Plymouth GTX, pretty cool car.
Yeah, the GTX was like an upscale a version of the B-body of the Roadrunner. It was, quite a bit of expensive car at the time. They used to call it the executive hot rod. You know what I mean? Because I'm 60 years old, and these cars were, on the street when I was going to high school. So it was very important to me to have something like this, or wanting to have one. You know what I mean? So I purchased the car like 1990.
Have you always been a Mopar guy?
No, I wasn't actually. This is the only Mopar I've ever owned, and from my era, I've had a lot of muscle cars. I can go through a list of what I had because when I started, got a decent job in the early 70s, you were able to pick up the classified in this area, and just about anything you dreamed of would be for sale on the weekend. And these cars, you'd be buying them from the original owners, and they'd only be 3 or 4 years old. I mean, I drove a 70 GTO to work. I had a 68 Shelby Mustang. I learned how to drive in a 67 Camaro, so I had all the SS Camaros that you had with the big blocks, You
guys, you're so spoilt. You've just been so spoiled, haven't you? Yeah. Okay, so lurking under the hood, we have the 440 and the 727 Trans. That'd work nicely.
Right. And those are standard on GTXs. That's the cost was, $1,500. This car's $1,500 more than what a Roadrunner would be going for, because you got a standard 440. Yeah. You know what I mean? And actually, the 727 is standard on. You got a standard automatic trans. Yeah.
It's extra special when you hook up with a guy that really knows the ins and outs of the car that he's got. It's great to hear the history as well of when you went back to your teenage years, the cars you remember, and now you've got one, and I know it means a lot to you, and just quietly, it would mean a lot to me if I had it as well, so good on you.
Okay, Fletch. Good to meet you, man.
Okay, moving through Memorial Park section now of Woodward, we have Jim. How you doing, Jim?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. What's a car show without an interview with a 57? We've got to have a 57.
That's true. Everyone wants a 57. They only made about 1,400,000. I think there's probably 400,000 still left.
I tell you what, they're a beautiful shape. People get them, they customize them, they leave them standard. There's a whole plethora of things that you can do with a 57 Chev. When you're a little guy, I suppose a young guy, you saw the 57s. Did they mean anything to you then?
I love the 57. I've always loved the 57. This one here, it's about a 2-year frame-off restoration. It was a nice car to begin with, but we just made it a little nicer.
It's absolutely glorious. I mean, the interior it's gorgeous, very period correct, and they were so opulent, weren't they?
Absolutely. And everything on this car is the original color. The only difference is the powertrain. It has not a stock powertrain.
Alrighty, what's lurking under the hood, Jim? What have you done there?
468 big block Chevrolet with custom headers, and we've lowered it, disc brakes, about 600 horsepower.
Geez, you got it bad, haven't you?
It isn't. Yeah, it isn't a racer, but it gets everyone's attention.
It's not a racer. Over 600 horsepower, and it ain't a racer. Well,
and I drive it. Yeah. I do drive it. I drive it all over the state of Michigan. Wow. Even though it has all this horsepower, it's a very simple car to drive. So you get in the lane and you just follow the traffic.
That's really beautiful. Now, tell us about the paint, Jim, because in the sun here, it's just gorgeous. The metallic just shines so nicely.
This is called Sierra Gold. It's original color. And on the top is called Adobe Beige. Very, very popular back in the day.
It's a credit to you. I mean, isn't it? I mean, you've got to take your hat off to guys like this that do such beautiful work to such a beautiful car. Jim, before I let you go, your thoughts on this year's event?
Wonderful. The weather is great. We were here all day yesterday. We'll be here all day today, and it just looks like it's going to be another record breaker.
Well, Jim, you're getting watched. People in Australia, all around New Zealand, London, UK, networks across the United States of America. What is your message to the people that have not experienced Woodward?
Come to Woodward. At least once. Come to Woodward.
I tell you what, he put a lot of thought into that, but you can't better his words. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you, sir.
How good is this? If you would like to visit Motown and see all of the amazing museums, exclusive personal car collections, and the legendary Woodward Dream Cruise, then you might consider a Fletch tour in 2014, where I will accompany you to all of these amazing places. The people are friendly, the area is beautiful, and the cars will blow your mind. We're taking expressions of interest right now. Send me an email via classicrestos.com.au, and it'll be great to have you along. How you doing, Bob?
Real good. How about you, Fletch?
I'm very, very good. Very, very good. Got a pick on you about your Ford. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1954 model, right?
54.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've really put some sweat into this, how I can tell.
Oh, quite a bit. 3 years worth. Yeah. I put in a 5.0 Mustang engine with a 5-speed transmission.
Yeah. I noticed the 5-speed there with the stick sticking up. That's I don't kind of mind that. That's not too bad.
Well, that's what we had back in the 60s. Yeah. My first car was a 54 Ford, just like this. Yep. And I had an attachment to it. Yeah. One day I seen it sitting along the road for sale, and I had to buy it. So I made a few modifications to it, but all the money I put into it was well worth it because all the compliments I receive on the car. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very happy.
Well, Bob, it's tremendous here at Memorial Park here this afternoon, and it's a nice way to end off the cruise, although the cruise is still going. There's a massive park up here, Memorial Park. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of cars, and again, Classic Restos, this episode, we're just dipping our big toe in the water. But it's guys like this that keep it rolling along. Thanks very much, buddy. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Talk about colours that pop. We've got ourselves a 68 Coronet RT. We've also got a guy named Rick. How you doing, Rick?
Oh, great, Fletch.
Must get lots of looks.
Oh, it does. It does.
And the car must too.
Well, hey, you know, it doesn't hurt to be the driver as well. So, but it's a '96 Viper Red. Yep. It's not a stock Chrysler color from this year, 68, but it does get a lot of looks.
It's an awesome thing. I mean, everyone knows that I love my older cars with the painted steel wheels. I mean, to think years ago guys took them off, they threw them away because they put mags on, and now all the guys want them back again.
Oh, absolutely. I actually, when I bought the car, had a choice of mags or the steel wheels, and I opted for this.
So the 4-speed box, is it the A833?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is. And it's got the, I've got the floor shifter, got the Hurst pistol grip in it. Yep. It's just the plain old long throw, so it's like almost like driving a truck.
You're running an 8 3/4 rear or Dana?
It's a Dana 60, 354 rear gear. It's a track pack car.
Beautiful interior as well, Rick. I love the red against the white. Very well done.
Yes, well, it's originally a bench seat car, but I went with the buckets and I kept the white interior. A little bit harder to keep clean, but it just pops.
That's good. Good on you, Rick. Thanks for chatting. I just couldn't walk past this car. I just had to share it with you. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fletch.
Well, that is just some of the Woodward Dream Cruise for 2013 here at Motown, Detroit, United States of America. What can I say? What a sensational event and an incredible environment. Now, the DVD box sets, along with other Classic Restos merchandise, can be found at classicrestos.com.au. And of course, while you're there, don't forget to get in touch with the major sponsors. They're fantastic people to deal with, and they'd love to hear from you. As I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. All right, generic for 44.
Don't forget to like Classic Restos on Facebook. Facebook.com/Classic Restos TV. And episodes can be seen at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannon's Insurance, National Parts Depot and Penrite Oil.